Commitment. We are going to talk about commitment. Now, before you get concerned, I'm not talking about relationships here. We're talking creative commitment. Something possibly even more challenging. When you're looking to do or start a creative project, the sheer amount of ideas and things you have running through your head can make it really hard to choose an idea and stick to it. And it can be tempting to wait until you have the perfect idea to start it. But let's be honest, that time's never going to come. And if you're anything like me, the perfect idea always feels like the most recent. That's just really going to lead you down a rabbit hole of always thinking of new things but never acting on them, which is not really productive for actually doing creative work. Ideas feel powerful. When you have a good one, it's exciting, it's thrilling, and it can be really tempting to just think of new ones. But the sad truth is, ideas without action are simply just passing thoughts. No matter how excited you get about them without any action to back them up, they're just something you'll eventually forget about. And all this isn't to say that some consideration before starting a project isn't a good idea. It's good to consider your timeline. It's good to consider the scope of the project. But at the same time, you can't just wait forever, especially if you were doing your first creative project. At some point, you just have to commit, and you just have to see that project through till the end. You just have to go all in, really, truly commit to it. This is not easy. There are going to be roadblocks. Things will be challenging to figure out, but you have to do it to ever achieve your goal, to ever be able to create the creative thing that you want to create. You have to get started and accept that it's likely not going to be perfect. In fact, it's not going to be perfect. But by doing it, by creating it, it will be way better than if you just kept it locked in your head. Because that is what an idea is without action. It is something that has been locked away and left to die. Of course, talking about projects, there will be points where it might be the right time to call it quits. That is obviously something that happens with creative projects, but my main point here is if you're trying to do your first one, you just have to go all in. There may come a point, if you haven't made progress for an extended period of time and you don't see any way out, then maybe move to something else, but you want to have that mindset of, I'm going to figure this out, so that you can get through all of the hurdles that you can get through. And then at the very least, you'll have trained yourself to not be brittle and fall apart whenever there's a single road bump, because there will be road bumps. And you cannot allow something to just stop you. Now, I know this all seems really obvious to some of you, I'm sure. But honestly, for me, this was the most important lesson to learn, to just commit to something and get started. Because for so long, I would just come up with all of these ideas, and I am confident that a good portion of them would have been successful. Not all of them, and timing's important for a lot of this stuff, but if I had stuck with them and done them, I think I would have seen success. But because of my lack of commitment to my creative ideas and my lack of follow through, I'll never know. Now that I've actually committed to an idea and I am actively pursuing it, I have come up with ideas and solutions to things that I would have never even fathomed before. Just the process of deciding you're going to do something and then going through the difficult parts leads you down creative pathways that you just can't anticipate. Committing is actually a huge boost to creativity in a lot of ways. choosing what to commit to is a skill that you just have to develop. You may make the wrong choice your first time and end up with something that feels incomplete or you're not totally satisfied with, and that's okay. Learning how to create and learning what to put your time into are both skills that you will be developing as you pursue this. You're going to make mistakes. You have to be okay with that. Just know that as you make more decisions and you start committing to things, you will figure out what is worth committing to and what's not. It'll take time, but you'll get there. Commitment feels like this scary thing that's limiting you. It's forcing you down a single path. But really, it allows you to just open your mind to all the ideas within this certain avenue. And that may sound limiting, but you just can't even understand the ideas you'll have until you make that commitment and start to focus down a singular path. You'll start to make connections you never considered before, and it really leads to something awesome and truly amazing to be able to just see what you're capable of. Forcing yourself to commit really changes how you think about things. And it just opens up so many doors to actually seeing a project through till the end. There is so much power in that compared to just thinking of ideas. Remember, commitment is not limiting creativity, but unlocking it. For me, I've wanted to be a board game developer for quite a while, and I have a lot of board game ideas, a lot of them. But they were very surface level until I finally came up with an idea that I was really excited about, and I was like, you know what? This is it. This is the one I'm going to commit to. And I did it, and I'm still actively working on that game, and it's been about a year. The things that I have figured out, I wouldn't have even thought of them a year ago. They are just the ideas I am getting to are so exciting for me right now. And I am so happy that I decided to commit to this idea and actually see it through. And I want that for you guys. Truly, just take some time. Pull out your idea notepad or whatever you use to keep track of your ideas. If you haven't already, just think about which one of these is feasible in whatever time frame you want it done in. I will say I wasn't planning on this game taking as long as it has, but I'm okay with it. I want to stick to my commitment and see it through. Just choose one of your ideas and get started and just see where you end up. Who knows, maybe a year from now, you'll be done. You'll have a complete project that you can be truly proud of that you would have never had before if you hadn't made that commitment. Now guys, I hope this helps with your creative work. It is something I am still learning so much about, but it's a very exciting avenue to actively be involved in now, including with these YouTube videos. It's so enjoyable to actually see your finished project and have your vision come to life. So thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I hope you guys have a fantastic night. Okay, we'll start fresh.